So just because you're on the opposite side of the impact doesn't mean you're safe from injury. This force, when it comes into the car, it has to go somewhere and it goes into you. Let's talk about it. When there's direct force impact, even to the opposite side of the car, again, the force travels through the car and it travels into your body. The number one thing that we see is lateral movement. And what I mean by that is you're going to see whiplash and ligament laxity from the violent body sway. Your body is going to go like this, and it's going to come back like this. Now, I want you to be thinking in terms of your shoulder, because your shoulder strap is right here. It's going to stop you from going into, hopefully stop you from going into the B pillar or the A pillar over here. But in so doing, it's going to impinge upon your shoulder joint, and that leads to rotator cuff injuries. All these are very, very serious. Next, you need to be concerned with the ligament laxity in your neck. Now, what does that mean? Ligament laxity, sometimes the doctors call it hypermobility, is what the adjusters love to laugh about. We call it whiplash, and they try to tell you that it's all in your head. That adjuster is lying to you. This is a very real injury, and it's in your neck. When your ligaments are stretched out of shape, they never, ever, ever go back to where they were. This is a permanent injury. And what happens is your neck muscles take over and try to do the job that your ligaments can no longer do. And that's why they ache, they get tired, they cramp, and that's why you have the constant nagging, aching in your neck. This can happen everywhere else in your body too. Everywhere from your shoulder joint to your knee joint down to your ankle joint. This is from the violent shaking and body swaying of the lateral movement from the direct impact on the opposite side of you. Now, with this violent swaying and this violent going back and forth, and we've already talked just a second ago about your spine going back and forth. Well, guess what's on the end of your spine? It is your head. And so the head injuries that can come from this are very severe. Now, remember, you still have these hard structures over here. You've still got the B pillar over here and the A pillar over here, even the glass. How can this hurt you? Well, inside of your brain, inside of your head, I didn't mean inside of your brain. Inside of your head, your brain sits like this. Now, this bottom part is like a cup. This over here is like the big part of a cup, like a goblet. Now, your brain actually goes down to just below your nose, and so it's held tight down here. Up here, there is the ability of the brain to move back and forth. And if it does so violently, it causes a shearing, a breaking, a tearing of the microcapillaries in your brain, and that blood really doesn't have anywhere to go. It's not really absorbed back into the body the same way as a bruise is, because this is a closed space and there's no way for the brain to swell. If it does swell, that is a very serious injury, often requiring surgery. So the brain bleeds. When the brain absorbs the body, it leaves a hole inside your brain, just like Swiss cheese. Yes, just like Swiss cheese. Very, very serious. And so this is why these types of injuries are very dangerous and can affect your life, not only now, but the way you live forever. And not only is it your brain that can be injured, but let's talk about the most used joint in the human body, which is the jaw joint, this joint right here. This is your temporomandibular joint. And it's the most used. Every time that we talk, breathe, chew, anything, we use this joint. Now, there's a little pad right here of cartilage upon which this jaw joint operates. And if there's a derangement or a displacement of that in any way, it can cause incredible pain and can cause you to have problems for the rest of your life. Your jaw will lock up, you'll have horrible headaches, and you will notice a very, very marked decrease in the ability of you to lead a normal life. This can be treated, but it's very, very serious. And if you don't document it and you don't know what to look for, you may not associate this with the wreck. But I promise you, it comes from the trauma of striking another object within the car. Not only all of these things, but if we follow through, and I spoke briefly about the shoulder injuries before that can happen, but if we clench or try to brace ourselves, or our arm flies up like this and we go into the side of the door, we can have rib injuries or shoulder injuries from bracing or the force of the seat belt in its way of restraining us. All of these are very, very common. And you need to look for them because they can lead to very, very serious problems in your life. Now, immediately after an impact, our body will release adrenaline. We kind of go into a little bit of shock, and we may not, because of what happened, we're so upset at the fact that the wreck happened, we may not be paying attention to the symptoms that our body is telling us. And some of these symptoms take days to manifest. So be aware of them. Know that these are a result of the trauma of the wreck and not just some run-of-the-mill thing that just happened. So pay attention 2 or 3 days later to what your body is telling you that hurts. That is a signal that you've been injured in this accident. It's very important after a collision to monitor your health for several weeks. Hidden injuries can worsen over time and can take time to manifest. So if you've been in any collision or a collision like this, please feel free to pick up the phone, call 888-WE-FIGHT. We answer the phone 24/7, 365. If you're hurting, we are working. We want to help you. That's what we're here for. We welcome any kind of inquiry, even if you have a question. We don't care if it's a case that we can help you with or not. If you need help, we want you to call us. That's what we're here for. So 888-WE-FIGHT. Call us anytime, and I hope to talk to you really soon. 888-WE-FIGHT.